Hey guys, it's Sunday and this is week 49 of my mental health vlog. Really creeping up on a year, it's kind of crazy. So, just a heads up, this week's theme is going to be talking about sex. If that makes you uncomfortable, please feel free to go ahead and close the video now. So, when I was in, because as you know, I am a recovering sex addict and I attend meetings on Mondays and Wednesdays. And I'm also dating someone, and we have some challenges in our sex life. And I talked to him, and he's okay with me talking about it here on my video. So we waited about 2 months before we were intimate. We kissed, but, intimate before we had sex. And we had a lot of pressure. We had both put a lot of pressure on that first time being amazing. And long story short, it wasn't. And that was kind of a blow for both of us. And it's something that we've been trying to work past. He is working on the issues that he's identified, and I'm working on the issues that I've identified. One of the issues that I had an epiphany about in one of my meetings was that I was acting in, not acting out. And I see how sex has been toxic in so many relationships for me and the damage that it's done or caused. And I now have a mental block about healthy sex in a relationship. So I talked with my therapist a little bit about that this week, and she said that that's exactly what it sounds like to her, is that I have this mental block for healthy sexual activity inside of a relationship. Because I love my boyfriend so much that I don't want to damage this relationship that we have built on not having sex. Because in all honesty, I've never been in a relationship where it was not based on sex. Even my marriage of 17 years, he was a one-night stand, and I called and after he gave me his number, and we started talking. But still, it was a relationship that was based on sex. So for me not having sex for 2 months in this relationship, it gave us the time to really build a solid foundation, an emotional foundation, which is amazing. And the fact that we are so open and honest and we can communicate and talk about everything, including what the struggles that we're having. I'm very fortunate that we took the time to really build that foundation for a relationship. But now we're struggling with the physical aspect of our relationship. But at the same time, I don't really feel like I'm missing anything, because as a sex addict, one of the things that I analyzed in my relationship, in my history, is that I used my body to get validation from others, strangers, friends, whatever. I was using my body to gain that validation. And I feel so validated in this relationship that it's like I don't even think about acting out or breaking my sobriety, just because the fact that I don't have that need for validation because I'm already getting it from my boyfriend. So that's a positive, because I absolutely don't want to act out, but it's like I don't feel like I have the need to. So I'm not missing that validation in my life because I have it. It's just coming to me in a different form than I'm used to it coming in. We also talked a little bit about masturbation, how it's challenging for me to masturbate without watching pornography. And one of the things I talked about with my boyfriend was I've never been able to enjoy myself sexually, because I've always seen my sexuality as something that I would give to other people to receive validation. So I'm also working on trying to focus, not having to focus to use pornography to masturbate, because the fact that I don't need to watch someone else touching someone else. I should be able to find joy in that with myself. And so there's all these little things that I've never thought about that are coming up in my relationship with my boyfriend. And it's weird because sex has never been, okay, sex has always been an issue for me, but sex has never been an issue for me because if I wanted sex, I had sex. But it's like with him, it's a totally new ball game. And I'm learning that a lot of there's a lot of hidden things that come with sex addiction that I didn't expect. When I was talking about the the acting in part, the not being able to see the healthy aspects of sexuality and relationship in my meeting, someone's like, yeah, there's a whole section on this book that talks exactly about this. And y'all know me, I don't read. But there's this whole section on this book that talks exactly about this. So I'm actually going to try and look up that section of the book and read a little bit on it. Because it's not uncommon for people in recovery to sexually shut down. Because sex is tied to so much toxicity in their life. So that's what I've been working on. Other than that, I did have some stuff happen. My, as I talked about last week, my ex-boyfriend, they took him off life support, and they finally took him off life support. I thought they were going to take him off a couple of days before they actually did. They took him off of life support on Tuesday, and they're going to cremate him. They still don't know what caused it. They're going to do an autopsy. I've yet to hear if there's any results from the autopsy. But that's been really hard to manage for me, just because I've never dealt with death very well, and especially with someone that I was very close with. I had some issues with another friend of mine. I don't want to go into too much detail, but it was similar to some other issues that I've gone through in my life, and I just want to be able to be there for those friends, and that's been pretty hard too. But what else is going on? So I'm still in self-quarantine, which means I haven't seen my boyfriend. I haven't seen my son. I miss them both terribly. But I get to see my boyfriend on Wednesday for his birthday, and I get to see my son on Friday for his sleepover. So I'm very, very excited about that because I miss him, and it's hard. I use that word a lot, hard. Well, it is hard. It sucks. I actually had to go into the city where my son lives today to run some errands, and it was really difficult to basically drive by the house and not swing in and see my son. And I really wanted to, and it was hard, but I didn't because I'm respecting my ex-husband's wish of, staying away for 2 weeks, and that way if I did catch anything on the plane, that I wouldn't expose him to it. I totally understand. It sucks, but I totally understand. And my boyfriend's the same way because, he lives with his parents and doesn't want to contaminate them. So, still no symptoms, no nothing. I'm sure I'm fine. I'm just waiting out the time period so that I can see the people that I love. Because this weekend has been very boring. I worked on some patch projects, and that was it, except for the errands that I ran. So, not a whole lot else going on. I know this week's topic was a little weird and maybe uncomfortable for some of you, and that's okay, because for me, it's not always comfortable to talk about. But as Brené Brown says, if it's comfortable, then it's not growth. So growth is not comfortable, and this is me trying to grow. And physical health and mental health are both tied into my sex life, or lack thereof right now. So it's stuff that I'm working on. So because it's something that I'm working on, I wanted to share it with y'all because I feel it's important for me to let y'all know what I'm working on so that y'all can kind of go through the journey with me. I hope it didn't make you too uncomfortable. If it did, I'm sorry, but you were warned. All right, guys, that's going to be it for this week. I'm going to log off, and I'm going to chill and watch some cartoons and maybe get something to eat. I love you all. Take care of your friends. take care of your loved ones. Most importantly, take care of yourself. And I will see you guys next week for week 50. 50. Crazy. All right. Bye, guys.